if your review is over, we can move on some Q&A or some question you have. Or. I do want to hear you and continue to talk to you about your prayer life. You were talking about talk to God. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even last night, I was just trying to just think, how do I even just come to God daily and just speak to Him? Because most of the time, I'm not going to be able to have a conversation with God like I'm having a conversation with you. I talk, you respond, we come back and forth, and I thought to myself, prayer is like, how we have how we have communication with the Father. So I mean, we're just praying last night. Not like you pray before dinner kind of prayer,
Sure.
but just asking the Lord, what are you doing in this time? What are you doing? And
do you hear anything?
no, I mean, no specific response.
But at least ask and answer. Yeah. Go ahead.
And I think that's good. I don't think...
Absolutely. You should continue. So, yeah.
I think the Lord wants the desire, He's not just going to
Absolutely.
give you an answer.
Yeah. I think He put that desire in your heart. That's obvious, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I just bring it before Him that I want to know what He's doing. I want to know how He does it. I want to know why He does it. And I want to, live life according to His plan for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to live according to my own will,
my
own way, and
Yeah.
fall short of so many generations before me.
Yeah.
And especially in this time of life,
what that means for you, we can maybe get more into detail. Generation before you.
Well,
I think that's the sentiment to be carried through all the conversation your dad and mom recently had with you guys. Am I? I'm not so sure.
Well, not really. I mean,
okay.
I mean, it is something we have talked. Kind of the whole community has talked about.
Yeah, sure.
But it's just
reflect on that for your own, from your own understanding.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's just like we're supposed to be set apart, right? And we're supposed to be something that's not, or we do. I mean, even today we're not doing Christmas. Why? Why are we not doing Christmas? Why are we
doing Christmas?
Why do we not do all the other stuff? Why do we
pretend me to be your friend? Just curious what's going on.
I was actually just talking to someone about this last night.
Is that right?
They're saying Merry Christmas. And I was like, yeah, do you celebrate Christmas? Like, I don't. She had maybe. And I said, I don't. I said I'm a rare breed in America. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. You're a rare breed all over the world, guys. Yeah.
And she said, why? Why do you not celebrate Christmas? And, I guess the way I explain it is to not make it too complicated for someone else. I just said, it has some deep-rooted origins that are not very good. They're just not, and I don't choose to, be a part of that.
Yeah.
And other than that, I don't know if I would explain this to any person, but
sure. To me, not the outsider anymore.
Of course.
Yeah.
God has called us to something different. We're supposed to be set apart, and He has, His set apart days that we celebrate.
Sure.
That we celebrate.
Yeah.
If we want to take into the word of celebrate, it's not party.
Yeah.
I know you know that. I'm just breaking that down for my own understanding.
Yeah.
But back to the main point of generational things. This part of life I'm in, I'll be an adult in like 2 weeks, so it's a time where people think like either I'm just gonna get out of my parents' house and go do what I want, I chase my dreams.
Certain parents kick you out of their house.
It's true.
And
it's just like,
sorry.
there are, so which is a part of that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, start something real in life. You don't
Sure.
want to be a kid anymore.
Yeah.
But, obviously I'm not thinking that way. I'm not thinking I just want to
Yeah.
jump out of my parents' house. And they aren't trying to kick me out either yet.
As far as your mom is concerned, she wants to be you guys hung around forever.
Whenever we even.
As far as your dad concerned, I'm not sure.
No, Dad gets actually mad at us.
Is that right?
When, like upset at us when we even joke about moving out.
Is that right? He's not happy about that.
He's not like it. He does not like. He doesn't like. Well, he knows it's gonna happen.
Yeah, sure.
But he doesn't like us to talk about
it. I see.
But
parent sentiment, that's sweet sentiment. I mean, maybe not always healthy. That's sweet. That's go ahead.
But I think that may set me apart a little bit because, in the way I'm thinking, because I'm not really thinking, how am I gonna get out of my parents' house?
Yeah.
This time of life, I'm thinking like, what does my life mean? What, what is my relationship with the Father, and how do I strengthen that?
Yeah.
What do I, do right now today to take steps towards my destiny? And that's what I've been thinking about a lot. And actions I've taken towards that have been recommended, and you told me to study the Word. I'm studying the Word. And I've been reading that New Testament Times book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Good. I had finished the first chapter. And I actually started reading the New Testament.
Oh yeah.
Along with it.
Is that right?
Just kind of go a little back and forth. Yeah. Taking it pretty slow, not trying to speed through it. Like I mentioned, it's easy to just read the Bible and not really see, what's going on. I mean, reading the New Testament and Matthew, it's just like, feels like a story you know so well. And like when you read it, you see like the little details you just forget, and they can be so important in the Word. It's just like, it's new every time.
It's new every time,
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and I've just been trying to take out everything I can from that and kind of dissect it.
Yeah.
And,
Give me a few things you can glean from your recent reading.
I think something new that I learned yesterday. That I think one of the scriptures quoted in the first 1 or 2 chapters of Matthew, talks about like Emmanuel, meaning God with us. I don't think I ever knew that. So
you don't know that one?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know
That's
that.
tough one.
And I just realized actually I was reading the whole Christmas story, but I didn't. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, I didn't even mean to do that.
That's interesting.
And I mean, it's a hoax anyways, because Jesus wasn't born on Christmas. So.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. Never mind. But
I was thinking more another season for sure. Yeah.
Anyways, just reading about the birth of Christ. It was interesting. Like when the 3 wise men coming over, like, I guess when, like, it made it seem like King Herod told them to go see Jesus born. It made it some part of the.
Yeah, they wanted to pay tribute to this newborn king. So. But
Herod wasn't like, sincere about that, right?
Absolutely not. He tried to let them be like spies,
right.
To scout out where Jesus is, so can, he told them to come back, report to me.
But that's what I was about to mention. They had that was interesting how they had the dream about not to go back.
Not go back.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's kind of cool.
So real Herod was with a murderous heart towards
Yeah.
Jesus. You know?
Yeah, and then tried to actually murder him and ended up killing a bunch of other kids.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah.
God said that Joseph as well, escape basically. So. What do you learn from that story? Because God didn't say, Herod, stop doing it.
Yeah.
That's interesting, huh? A lot of children suffered, died on that day. It sounds very bad, huh? And that's something hard to reconcile, think about.
That's why.
If you can stop the magic to go back to Herod, start Joseph to escape. Why he didn't stop Herod and the murders of the young ones? So, question to ask.
I don't know.
I don't think most Christians even answer the questions. That's the reading of the Bible. Little bit of, they ask, maybe they have a different way to answer it. So,
right. And I guess that's why a lot of people even don't believe in Christianity, because how could God let so many people just die?
That's right.
He's an all-loving God.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They have every reason to doubt if you don't understand God. Yeah. Why there's suffering? Why there's death? Why there's a war? If God can stop it, right? So every time. So.
That's a hard argument.
Hard question.
Hard argument too, because it's people will always have some other thing to say about it, whatever you say.
Sure, yeah.
But I don't know.
But the Bible actually give very clear answer on those scores. You just need to search it out. So,
yeah.
The key is to understand, because when you're young, you will easily design and seek your life on a personal fulfillment level. And even today, you talk to me on the things concerning how your life be fulfilled in that. And it's not bad. It's that's everyone started. So, but at some point you have to recognize you're just a sand on the seashore, a star in the galaxy. I'm a little bit teasing you a little bit.
No,
so,
that's true.
Yeah. So, but basically, God wants us to know humility, what it means. You can't have humility based on your own agenda or wrong word, on your own framework. Humility is not something. A man cannot be humbled if we think he figures things out already. Think about it. Can you be humble if you know you figure things out? No. A man has to be humbled when he recognizes he knows nothing. But when you're young, you don't want anybody to tell you you can know nothing, so that's very discouraged.
Right.
We do know something, but we don't necessarily know the story.
At the end of the day, we don't really know anything.
We know God is real, even good things, right? This is real. Spirit, you also experience knowledge is real. But the know nothing, I think, more contingent on one territory. You don't know how God's sovereignty works. You don't know really how he works his will out. Much like a chess player, right? A chess player, right? So, two chess players, you see people move chesses. A pawn don't ask the guy who cheats. Bible use clay and powder, right? Talking about this. And so a chess, why you make that move? It can't imagine. That's over animated. This comparisons there or parable there. But think about everyone can talk. Everyone has their own life, right? So a horse, a chariot, whatever, have their own wheel moving. A king have their own way moving. A bishop have their own way moving. Then a pawn have their own way moving. If a pawn said, well, why can't I move like a bishop does? That's not the game. The player said, that's not the game, that's not why it's not the game? And the chess player said, I don't know.
Just the rules.
I don't know. Somebody designed the game, so before he any chess player came to be, there's somebody designed it, right? Except the first guy invented it. So they all learn the rules. So interesting enough, human beings, we live under some rules. We don't really ever even think of challenging it. But for example, nobody as a human being would have said gravity law is bad. They don't use a moral standard to judge it, right? But concerning spiritual laws, everybody wants to use their own moral standard to judge it.
So I think it is.
Yeah, is that right? And that's thinking about it. So they think they have the right to insert themselves to judge. Just like gravity law is wrong. Gravity law is evil. Gravity law exists, can do harm to you and benefit you. Its objectively exists. You can study the mystery, you can use it for good purposes even, So yeah. Waterfall coming down can generate power, right? So So but nobody even started thinking given moral attributes, right? Or think that they can judge what's right or wrong about it. It exists. You're on the receiving end. You have no voice, no right. I use the word right, okay? So very important. You have no right to judge it. You passively, objectively receiving it. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna work on it. The same, right? So yeah. Nobody would say spaceship, art, space, said I don't need to care about gravity law because our company, right?
Yeah.
Said the reason I can do this adventure and this invention is because I study hard and overcome gravity law. Gravity, but I don't overcome gravity law. I can't discard that, right? So yeah,
Still there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm living under its framework. Is that making sense to you? Now, not moral laws, not spiritual laws. People don't think like that. People think they decide their own morals. They can decide their own spiritual laws. Some are even like foolish scientists or weird scientists would do. So let's overcome gravity law. So let's do anti-gravity, whatever. So, I don't know. I'm joking. Okay, so maybe they can. My point is that before they know what's right for the use the law, take advantage of the law, they want to escape the violate the law first. The motivation is start with violating it, overthrow it, define those laws as evil, or restraining, or controlling you, oppressing you. So it's most men in the pursuit of God, or in their interpretation who God is and his operation. It defines that he is bad. He's not good intended, He don't have good will towards us. The second, that his law is arbitrarily can be overthrown or challenged or judged by you. So that's where you have this dialogue. Any man come to a point had to be humbled by God to recognize its authority is not to be challenged. This doesn't mean it's not theoretical. It's not even your own experiential. It's that you know the word little.
Right.
You're just a finite being, an ant in the. Have you seen many ants in the wood, wherever? Do you tell an ant that you're not important? An ant was, what do you mean I'm not important? I'm busy every day. I'm eating. Is that making sense? Sorry. There is a certain animal eating ants all day long. Mr. Food is eating ant.
Anteater.
So yeah, anteater. There you go. I mean, for that guy, ant is not that important. I'm eating every day.
It's
so
my food.
It's my food, exactly. So how do you argue with that? So, but come to the point that ant mentality is embedded in human beings. I think that's if there's a sin, blindness, missing the mark. That's man in the beginning has been embedded. Not necessarily want to do merely do bad, but even in doing good, don't necessarily know your finite existence does not challenge the infinity of God. Infinite attributes, power, and wisdom of God. So therefore, this natural posture, defaulted contention with God said, I'm important. Somehow you better listen to me. Making sense to me. My life is important. So that's where true humility began to become the real measurement of skill. Right. When is the one give up then? Don't try to tell God what he should do with your life, or give it up. Say, God, whatever your lot for me, your portion for me, I will happily walk it out. So your tool in someone's hand. We don't like to hear that. Well, when you don't like to hear that, that's called the humanistic point of view. Humanism. Human's important. You're the measure of things. When you give up that sounds like sheepish or slavish, so whatever. Slavery. That's not. It's a yield to a higher power. To serve and enjoy a higher power. Be friend with higher power. Be fulfilled with higher power. Your representation. And you are the extension, if you will, or incarnation of higher power. The word become flesh means incarnation. Sorry to see that, so, but not means the whole word come into flesh. Everything about it, but its essence, is a spiritual essence come to dwell in your heart. I'm a little bit philosophical here, but it's very important to examine so-called worshippers of believer God. Are they for themselves, not selfish, okay? Self-fulfillment. Or service unworthy. That's why Paul always called himself a bond servant. Why he preaches the gospel of sonship. We're co-heirs with Christ. The same Paul said, I'm a bond slave. You can't compare the two if you are naive, immature, or not deeply enlightened Christian mind said the two are compatible. For Paul, it's one and the same thing. You are shepherd king. Shepherd means serve, right? Take care of others. Yet at the same time, you're a king. That's incompatible. Servant son. Servant means slave, whatever. Slave son. You have to recognize that. So either way, unbalanced, you will be somehow missing the mark, on balance, right? Either balance. Have you seen the scale? Either one side has to be on equal weight, right? So this has to be equally balanced.
Right.
Like many things in life. Yeah. Sovereignty, oftentimes people say, translating predestination.
Yeah.
It's terribly mistake. Sovereignty is not predestination per se. It does manifest sometimes in that way. So when I use the word sovereignty, I hope you understand what I'm saying. The pawn story with the chess player and the game designer is a good thing to say. Because each one are different. Okay? Let's see this one. Okay? Let me give you an extreme example. Okay? So you're a pawn on the chessboard. Okay? And a young man plays the chess, and there's an experienced instructor or some teaching how to play, right? So is that making sense to you? Then there is someone called the designer of the game, right? Same time, he's still alive, he's somewhere else, okay? So he's not concerned your particular game, a particular dynamic, how the game being played. But in the before the pawn is being moved, by the student. When the student is apprentice, am I, to the master in a sense, master chess player. The point if you ask begin ask questions. Why you move me? Say to the hand of the player, okay? Who gives the right to move me? Why you move me? Why you don't move me like a queen does? Well, there is a argument there. Think about it. It's extreme, okay? Extreme. So the chess player said, well, according to what I learned, this is why. And then the movie, this is the rule for you. You're like, no, this is going to happen. Does that make sense to you? So the further question, well, the pawn, okay. That's okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm okay. But why? Why I'm designing? Why? Guess what? The apprentice said, "Oh my, I never heard about that. I never thought about that. That's clear all the rules, My master told me." So the master turned around and said, the pupil turned around and asked the master, "Master, why?" The poem, this thing has to be played like this, So master said, "Oh, that's an interesting question. I can teach you all the tricks according to the strategies of the game and all the history, all the new ways to doing doing the game. But I don't know why that was designed this. I never thought about it, right? So, say, I never thought about it. And then finally said it. He asked master of the game, said, "Hey, have you guys understand why this game was invented this way? Did the guy invented it think about the strategy we played out? Did he ever thought that game gonna make us a master of tutors? People are gonna make a competition of it. People are gonna make a champion out of it. People make a profession out of it." The wonderful master was saying, "No, I don't think the design of the game even to think about it." All this become, I would say. But the designer did set it in motion. The word become flesh. He actually has something to do with the hand making the palm move according to certain rules. But for the pawn to ask the designer, "Did you just did all that to me? You irresponsible." I'm saying to you. Yes and no. I mean, so yes, I win the game for sure. Partly I'm irresponsible. But who really moved you according to the rules set up? That's not me, actually. Somebody is played by the rules I set up. He actually the one responsible, So, and you, unfortunately, you're a pawn, queen. And you are chess. You're not seed on a bird. So, that's your fate. That's what you're made for. That's what. Very good. That was you created for. We don't like that idea. We don't like that we are created for a particular purpose. And that we have not much to say over it. Basically, at the end of the day, you are not master your own destiny. I don't like to hear that. I don't think anybody should tell me what my destiny is. Or even I have destiny, I have the right to not walk in it. That's all true. You can do that. But there are also wise people, were few across the ages, said, "Wow, I actually have a destiny? Wow, this creator God? This actually can be a living God? Wanted me to know that? And teach me to do that? As I seek in my given destiny?" He actually said, "I would glad to walk with you, partner with you, to see the heaven." And that destiny is not about to accomplish something while I'm alive on this earth, something greater, eternal realm. Here's this bookend. Here's this like, right? So you play basketball game, right? So think about. Do you think about playing a champion in NBA, whatever? Do you think about it? You aspire, you want to, but it take a lot to get even into the team, right? So yeah, say. Most Christians think is we're naive, we're undisciplined, because they have basketball, they have a court, they think they have have achieved equal excellency. Everybody, their play must worth to put on the show every year. They must be paid high pay. I'm using the extremes to describe the contemptuousness as a conceit in Christian mind. When they were taught wrong, nobody tell them, hey, it's wonderful, you have the potential to be a professional player, but to think today you are a professional player, well, hold on a minute. Let's really know there's a huge difference between you when you're champion of high school team, okay? Take a lot for you to get into even be a candidate, right? Being interviewed by a professional team coach. So it's very hard. That sounds terrible, but if people really want to play the good game, once we get there, I mean, every coach will help them to get there. Every sponsor will sponsor them, right? Suppose there's nobody wanted to stand his way, right? So the point is that, would you want to be there? Or is content with your own courtyard of high school team, so, right? So yeah, that's up to you. I mean, then that's on one side only. On the other side, well, you want to be there. Maybe you're not talented. You're crippled. I'm sorry to use that word, but you somehow cannot jump. You small weight like me, I cannot play basketball. So to think I have to be somehow not being a champion team, lost the opportunity to even play in high school. I mean, I don't think high school team want me to be around. So to think somehow my life is missing or whatever. That's a wrong way to think about it. I'll give you a dilemma again. Alright? But I definitely can be a good encourager, a good friend. I can wash the court, maybe. I can clean the yard, whatever, So that's equally important, right? So doesn't diminish your love of the game either. Maybe you can love the game more than the real player. That's me dismiss you to know the game either. You know the game from different way, right? So yeah. I'm speaking all this to you. It expand your way of thinking. Because oftentimes when we're young, we think spiritual life, spiritual endeavor, and our future in the Lord, our death in the Lord is one-dimensional oftentimes. Eternal vision. It's more contingent, centered thing. So what can happen to me? Well, that's not a good start when you get mature. True maturity in spirit is not about what happened to you anymore.
Right.
Go ahead, expound. Take on the conversation. I want to hear you.
Well, I don't think it's all about what happens to oneself. It's more of oneself's.
I want you to think about it, not at the intellectual quest. Think about what that means if that happened to my life. Can I work that out? what that means in practical decisions, you know. Let me say, it's different way of thinking about things. You know. It's a hard thing to think about.
Well, just me not thinking according just to my own life.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the greater role I may play in the midst of a whole generation. It's not just my life, you know, it's like you've been explaining with like the ant. It's my part in the whole of God's whole body, which is made of many. Yeah. It's a different mindset. You're not just...
What the difference? How life is.
You know, just realizing that your life is not your own. Realizing that you're, like you were saying, a tool in somebody's, in God's hand.
That's a terrible parable, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Instrument is a tool.
Of course, it's like the same thought as like the potter in the potter's hand.
Very good.
Your
Very
clay.
good. Yeah. When Paul used a word called instrument, it's the same Greek word. Translated in three things. Instrument is a musical instrument, right? So it's a vessel. It's also a weapon. Something in your hand, you can, use your hand to have mastery over the tools.
I didn't think tool and like a God's playing with me.
I'm just trying to explain the mentality there. Yeah, something your hand good.
Something that's
using it
for something.
For purpose.
Someone's trying to
good. Yeah.
Used with intent.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think
it's a sword. Don't let the wielder, the sword, said you should use me this way. Right? So. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just a huge part of that is realizing that your life isn't yours. Like, it's not your life. So you can't think of...
Well, let's do a realistic examination then. How many Christians think about those lives? Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot.
There's a lot of people talk about it, right? So,
yeah. I don't think a lot of people think... I don't think a lot of people really think in that way.
That's my point. Yeah, have you seen anybody really decide to walk in there?
No, not really.
It's a huge difference. Marked difference. I think one marked difference: your parents, in your family circle, and no one beside your young ones. There's a gap there. I think that's the main reason that your parents eagerly want you to cross the river, right? So to mature, basically, to think differently. For example, I don't think your dad is upset with you guys want to go around the world doing things your own. If that is what God wants to do. But he's not going to be so happy if you decide to do that without some kind of a conversation or dialogue with God. That's what God wants you to do, right? So yeah, because by nature, that who told you to do that? Either yourself, and you would think it's yourself, but you're influenced by someone, right? That's the young people of the world do. That's what the choice. So with all the spiritual influence, growth, whatever, your mind design your future is still worldly. That's a trouble. Then you cannot take a serious advantage of the people around you, even your parents, even Noah. Because I cannot see the big difference. Is that everybody struggle? For sure they struggle. But they struggle on different level. So is that making sense to you? So let me give you a biblical example of this. People get out of Egypt, and they have hardship in the wilderness. But eventually, when hardship come around, they always saying, "Well, we want the garlic and right, we want the spices." They want to ease life. They in their mind, they think easy because they don't have the war, right? Slavery seems to be a comfortable place for them. Those people are so deluded almost in a sense. They're all oppressed every day. To have a garlic spices is because once in a while they have meat to eat maybe. It's not they will have a good life. They were slaves. They have they have no own family even sometimes. Slaves don't have the right to maintain a family. So they don't have a own leader. Right? They may have organizer, but definitely not in any capacity as someone have autonomy or some kind of democracy, so they can decide their own thing, right? So most important, but treat terribly every day they have to work, am I? Breaks with our souls. That's hard labor, man. You can imagine how many people die. But because they have this routine, they have some kind of, sometimes you can eat some spices, cheer you up, a little bit. So they have this idea in their mind. They cannot think, oh, our life every day having food to eat. We don't have to work for it. And the slaves hardly get dressed, am I? Yeah. The clothes are poor quality. They don't last forever. Their clothes, their shoes never run out. They don't think about it. It's literally every day. That's the contemplationist man's nature, human nature. I'm trying to highlight something here. When you eat something, you don't appreciate it. You don't know what it means, don't have it. And so they did when they have hardships and when they begin, say, hey, where's the meat? Where's the spices? So God will eventually put out with them. He said, you people just really have no idea what I've tried to accomplish with you. I'm leading you something. I'm going to enable you, do all this for you so that you can have one heart, one mind, one vision with my intention for you. I'm trying to make you a holy people, to set you apart for the purpose. Elijah, what use for God set us apart than set us to the world before do anything as community? And that's something you must struggle through. I think you're going to struggle as you grow older. You don't take for granted that struggle. It will decide your spiritual relation with everyone around you in this community. That's the river you must cross. So you can go here and there. Well, our heart will be with you. We're not frustrated. We will definitely celebrate your life. But I think there is something you will miss is that what God doing this with us, a set apart people. What that means for you and for your relations with the people around you. That's the young generation, your age, rise up and to reconcile them. The reason why I think your dad is unhappy about it because you guys speaking from a spirit of youth. You don't know God set us apart, what really means, how hard to get. If you're capable to relate to him in those passion, in those desires, your mind cause him some uncomfortable, for sure uncomfortable. And that's work in process. I hope I don't lay burden on you, okay? So you said you're gonna, a few months is gonna be 18 years old, a few weeks. There's a time to think about it. So what it means as spiritual youth. Define with me what is spiritual youth means for you in your setting. Or in general setting, society. talking. I don't try to be the young, try to inspire you.
No, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
spirit of youth is like seems like a very independent kind of mindset.
It's more than that, for your circle of people, I think, for more than age, is I want to have fun. Well, here's the deal. You want to have fun, you can have responsibility. It's self-contradictory. You can when you're able to handle it. Discipline enough, settle enough, understand the difference. But if your youth culture is, let me have fun, let me smash my life around, and has this delusion somehow you can accomplish great things, be responsible things. That's useful spirit. You can have fun, absolutely have fun, and be even pretty with fun, but to recognize that is not a responsible life. Is that making sense to you? So if you are going to have a responsible life, most likely a godly life, godly principle life, you just have to give up certain way of life to find entertainment, fun all the time. You're going to do sacrifice. Is that making sense to you? So you would think, what do you mean? Well, let me sing something to you. You can be a manager of a business. That's a lot of responsibility, a lot of things to care. You can't every day say, let me do my job in a coffee shop, right? So, can you? I'm so lazy, I'm tired. I want to just kick off, postpone the meeting, whatever, is that my point? Yeah, so. Okay. So that's not how it works, basically. Now that's a topic. When you mature, you must begin to touch the bedrock. What it means to have responsibility, to engage responsibility. Does that make sense to you? So this time, most likely in your age, begin to wake up. The difference is huge, because the next 10 years, you're going to be a responsible young man or a fun-having young man. So you said, well, I'm going to have a fun at the same time I want to be a manager. You can't. You have a choice. The second choice is to leave before you. A little bit of blow the bubble for you. You can be a godly father. Raise up a few children, right? You see your father had to do a lot of things to support you guys, right? To raise you guys up. That's a lot of sacrifice in it. Just think about it. Child are going to need to change diapers. Are you going to change diapers? Is that fun for you? Depends on your love. Want to be a father, want to be a family helper, want to really raise a child with care and the love or not. No, for me, it's thinking about it. To raise up a young boy, whatever, to change his diapers, that's highlight my life. That's part of the joy of being a father. Oh, think about it. Okay, you would think it's crazy. I'm gonna exhaust the story a little bit with you. You want to be a champion? You're gonna shoot the basketball how many times? 100 times to get over it? Oh, 1,000 times. Really? 1,000 times or 10,000 times? The many times you're going to what? To fall out. Let's see. 80% of the time we're not going to make the target. Hopefully not that much, but yeah, eventually you're good at it, right? But that take a lot of time not good at it to get there. So is that fun? That's not fun. But because you have a passion, said I want to be one really good with these things, it become a fun. Next day I'm gonna continue. Yeah, I'm inspiration. The word is what? I like your mom word. Inspiration. So the the thing God set apart us for this generation, and I pray we'll find some resonance in some young hearts like yours to really grip your heart and say, man, this is maybe one of the most precious things I ever get in the whole history of man. Unless you understand the preciousness of it, you understand the importance of it, it's impossible for you to digest it. I'm saying to you not as a bashing, okay, or discouragement, rather for you to see the Lord, what that really means. Like much like you when you say, what am my future hold? Wrestle with God on those hard questions. What if my life set apart? Okay, God, what is set apart for? I don't think God would talk to you much about that, unless you really give up. Say, God, I'm not come with some pretense, some pre-plan, some preconditions here. God, tell me, should I go to China, Korea, or Japan? Yes, maybe not. You get nowhere until you don't dictate to me where your life going to be in the world. Is that making sense to you? He will not talk to you, basically, if you ask those set of questions. Unfortunately, Christians, especially shallow Christians, are missed. They think it's right to ask God without His authority being acknowledged. When you're a baby or asking superficial things, child things. God is good with care for the child, but He will not give you the bedrock of things. The most precious thing He has with your life. So He needs you to wrestle with Him on that. Does that make sense to you? And before that, He just like sounds terrible. Okay, it's like a carrot. He's a donkey. I was that donkey, so I understand exactly what He did to me. So it was humiliating because I was like a poor donkey man. So I don't blame those things, but you wanted to ask a serious question in your future, and I think He can do it with you, in your young age. Even in tender age right now, He can still speak to you. This is your destiny. Your destiny. I think He can. You don't have to be like me or your dad in later 30s, all right? Or early 30s would get a hold of, man. We still have a word blurred vision what that means. You can go ahead of us 10-year list before you get married even to know what that means. So therefore you have a better foundation starting point with God list, with your own heart, to know why you do what you do. So it's a terrible to in a man's life. I think the first set of inspiration quest for you, big breakthrough, is when you ask, who am I? So, yeah. Who am I? And the next question will be, okay, if that word, who am I know I'm a son, then who am I in this side of life? What is my destiny in this one? It's a natural progression of your faith search. And it cannot come like today we are sitting down like this, we're good, so you can say some wrestling with that rest wrap up. So yeah, I hope I don't beat you down here, okay? So yeah, now quiet time like we have, it can be worth fruitful time if you use it properly. A man always busy is a man is actually spiritually lazy. You get distracted, you don't want to think too much. You don't want to go deep. He don't want to narrow. He don't want to search in the deep answers. Therefore, he's busy. That's right. So busy man oftentimes is lazy man, actually. I'm joking with you, but that's literally it appeared to be not busy, not lazy, but they're lazy with themselves, lazy with their own heart, lazy with their true meaning, true essence of life. So start to take great meditation, reflection, take a soul search. Quiet your soul, quiet your mind, quiet your own desires. That depends on how you want to spend your quiet time. If spend time is spending on my imagination around, think God going to just tail you around. I'm sarcastic a little bit. God is a head, he's not a tail. And you have to stop, circle around, to ascend, right? To come to the center. Then you can offer your life as unto the altar, as a living sacrifice. That's what humble yourself means. If you really humble yourself before the Lord, and he will come to you, and he will lift you up. He will show himself to you. If you say, this is the way God would do things, that's by use the word propositional, right? You'd be prideful, right? So basically you try to tell God what to do. So, and tag along. It's like, God, this is my plan. Come on. Let's go. I said, no, you don't make plan for me. You come on my plan. There's a particular instance drive me nuts. Today I use the word drive me nuts. Is when God revealed the story using Joshua's story to reveal I was really seeking God with the wrong posture of heart. Is when the story was that there was a captain of God's host, right? Host, called to meet Joshua before Jericho, so whose eyes in Joshua asked him. Whose eyes on? 他做了一种 sword to the battle. And the angel of the Lord said, not neither. Whereas the neither were so simple. But as the captain God's heavenly host had come, later on reflect that and thought, I was at Joshua. Always tell God, whose side are you on? That's when we were young. And God used that deeply humiliated me, said, are you going to tell me which side I'm on again? I said, I'm humbled at that time. I said, Lord, never again. Tell me, where's your side? I'll try to get on with it. I know it's hard, but I'll try to get on with it. In Christian walk, I found the two camps people. Very easy to discern. Those who choose God's side, or those who try to tell God, come on our side. And you don't want to be taught and to be inspired, to be counseled by people, and not really choose God's side. Think they are right to tell God to come on their side all the time. That's just in the story. So today, I hope I encourage you and inspire you to quiet time to do some deep seeking. Okay, so don't turn to be too busy. Reading is good, resting is good, but go deeper with God. So go ahead,
Lord, I pray that I would seek you in a new way, Father, and relate to you in a new way, Lord. Pray that your will would be done, Lord, and purposes would be carried out, Lord. Lord, I would not think in context of my life, but context of your purpose.
And you should, you know, there's a balance always, as we said, you know, so it's not totally diminishing your personal quest. It's those are vehicles to know God's will for you. So go ahead.
Lord, you pray that I would glorify you in the way I live my life, Lord, and learn truly how to spend personal time with you. But I pray that I would learn to know you more. Amen.
Amen.